So between these two references, which of them do you consider to be a good reference or a bad reference? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, please. And also, this video I'm going to be showing you the reason why the one in the right is the good reference, and while the one in the left is a bad reference. So do well to stick around to the end of this video. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Dio again with another video. So today I'm going to be showing you how to choose good references. So the characteristics of a good reference is number one, contrast. And according to Google, the meaning of contrast is contrast art refers to the arrangement of the opposite elements, light versus dark colors, rough versus smooth, and texture, large versus small shape. So another definition of contrast in art is it's a common term used in creative and artistic circles. Art contrast, when it comes to art, is achieved when opposite elements are I think arranged. Then the another definition is contrast is simply defined as the difference between art elements like colors, values, size, textures, and so on. So in short, before you select a reference must be having that dynamism, like it must, I don't know if it's a word, but yeah, it must have a contrast between the light and the shadows, and also and texture. Like it should have the contrast between the light, the textures, the colors also. So a good reference must have a good contrast in which separates the light from the dark, like the lighter part of the face from the darker part of the face. I'm talking about basically portrait. For instance, if you want to do a portrait study, you just need to have, my topic is centered on just portrait painting. So for those of you all that wants to do like figure drawing or an advanced drawing like concept art, you still want to need a contrast in your images and your references, but it's very much important for a portrait artist to like find a reference that has more contrast, so that the result will be good. And also, most especially when you're doing a photo study, it helps you to understand values, and which leads us to another second characteristics of a good reference. A good reference must have value. It must have values, in the sense that for instance, when you're working with a monochrome, when you're working on a monochrome, which is the black and white reference, the black and white must have that contrast, that difference between the lighter part of the face and the brighter part of the face, which is called the value range. You should make sure when you're selecting a reference like this, you should make sure the reference has the difference between the beige color, which is the gray color, and the lighter color, which is probably a white color, and also the darker shadows, which is for the shading. So yeah, your reference must have that difference. It should clearly be showing those difference of values around the face and around the body. So that's one thing you should look out for. And also another thing you should look out for a good reference, and a good characteristics of a good reference is cast shadow. Cast shadow is a strong darker, is a strong, according to let's see, according to Google, it says a cast shadow are formed Cast shadows are formed when one surface includes another surface from the light source. In this case, an image of casting surface is formed on the occluded surface, and the cast shadow is surrounded by light. The shadow should also be distinguished from shading. So a cast shadow is totally different from shading. As you can clearly see in this example, the cast shadow should be around this side, like reflecting the darker, reflect. It's a darker reflection of the an object. Like, for instance, as you can see, there's a light bouncing back. There's a light bouncing from the top, and it's bouncing on the subject. At the back of the subject, or let's say at below or at the bottom of the subject, there should always be a cast shadow, which is this. If you follow through the arrow, you will see what is called the cast shadow, which is a strong darker color, which was introduced by a strong lightning, by a strong lightning. So yeah, this is just the difference between the light. You should know the shading, the difference between the shading, attached shadow, inter-reflection, cast shadow, and penumbra. So yeah, this should be like another characteristic for a good reference. For instance, this particular area in which you see a very huge difference between values, like this darker side. Can you see the difference between the darker side and the lighter side? This darker side is called the cast shadow. This cast shadow is caused by the strong lightning which is bouncing at the top, and which is interfered by the jaw. The interference of the jaw produces this cast shadow. Same thing goes to that cycle, or let's say that ball. When there's a control that when there's an object interfering with the light, which is blocking the light, at the back of the object there should be always a cast shadow. So your reference must always have a cast shadow on it. So I think we are done with the characteristics of a reference of a good portrait. So just in case you've been wondering why your portrait drawing or your studies are not making you improve, it's because of the bad references you choose. Choosing a good reference is very, very important. It helps you study and it helps you learn a lot of things. So when you incorporate all these attributes or all these characteristics to the selection of your references, it will actually make a big difference. So another characteristics or another attribute of a good reference is colors. Make sure the reference um, you're using to paint is having a variation of skin tone. For instance, this is a very good example of a good reference. Make sure your reference isn't flat. Make sure the reference is having a variation of skin tones. As you can see, at the cheek is having a kind of blur, a blush, is like a pink color, and also in the nose, and also, so just keep on checking for references that have variation of skin tones so that you can learn where to place the warmer colors and where to place the cool colors, to place the there are colors that aren't cool and warm. I don't know what they call them, but yeah, you should just look for references that have variation of skin tones, that have different, not, you shouldn't go for references like this, but just in case you want to use references like this, you can probably use it for value painting, and that is monochrome painting. You can just simply turn it to a black and white, and when you are rendering, you can like you can add a kind of variation of skin colors. You can add variation of skin colors so that you can make the reference look more alive and not flat. So yeah, colors also give a kind of it gives a kind of a realistic look to portraits. And so when you're looking for references, make sure you are looking for references that have skin tones and skin variations like this. So don't just look for references that are just flat like this. Make sure you look for references that are having skin tones. Don't look for references that are just whitish like this. The reason why I'm in Pinterest and I'm showing you references to use is because when I just speak it out like this, you may not understand what I'm saying. That's why I'm picking the bad references and the good references at the same time. So this is a very nice reference, but it lacks a little bit of skin variation, but you can still infuse it, and you can clearly see that there are variations on the skin as of now. When you zoom it, you can see the variation of the skin tone. You can see the reddish color which lies in the shadow area at the ear. Then you can choose references that have colors as well, so that you can understand how to place colors and how the colors work in hand in hand with light. So colors are very important characteristics of a reference. Just in case you are not a beginner, if you are an amateur and you are seeking to improve in your art journey, I would advise you to work more on colors and more on colors, and also references that have contrast and cast shadows. So these are very nice references that you should look out for and you should work with. So just in case you are in need of references for practice, and also you are in need of like already, like, I don't know how to put it. I have generated a pack for beginners and amateur artists to use, a reference pack to use, and I'll drop my Pinterest link in the description box. I have so many educational stuffs on my Pinterest page. If you're interested, you can check them out. I have anatomy study references, and also some, yeah, for instance, this one, you can download it and do your own study on it, and you can tag me on Instagram to see it. And I've already done some step-by-step process. You can just watch them and see if it helps you. And also there are reference pins that I've placed on my Pinterest. I'll drop the link in the description box to go check it out. There are references for beginners, there are references for amateur artists. You can just go to my Pinterest board and search for references. There are environment arts, there are fan arts, there are character design boards, and the rest. So there are boards that are useful for you as an artist to. So if you're interested, go check it out. This is my tag, my username. That I use the same name on Pinterest and ArtStation as well. I use the same name on all my platforms. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is all for this video. So these are the references, good references and the bad references you shouldn't use and you should use. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any question, you can drop it. And also if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you can still subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime I release a new video. So thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.